Thanks, demo team. That was great. Munchbox is certainly a great idea because I know that snacks as a service is a giant market. I wish you all a lot of luck. We're going to continue the conversation here around customer identity, but we're going to add a new voice to the mix. I'm pleased to introduce to the panel Maureen Little, our Vice President of Strategic Alliances. Welcome, Maureen.
Hey, Ryan.
So, Dia, I actually want to start with you. You can't talk about developers without talking about customer identity, and that landscape has changed a lot. From your perspective, how has it evolved most recently?
That's a great question, Ryan. So in the last year, the digital economy has fast-forwarded by nearly 5 to 7 years. Today, every organization, as we discussed, needs to have digital touchpoints with its customers and customer experiences for their customers to be able to interact with. Now, in doing so, they need to be able to bring online and offline experiences together. They need to be able to stitch together experiences across multiple products and across their partner ecosystem. All of this is extremely complicated and it's hard, but it's also extremely valuable because this is the only way to provide a compelling experience for their end customers.
That's super interesting. Talk more about that complexity. I want to hear more about that.
You can think of the complexity along 3 different vectors. First, the number of tools and technologies that developers have to use is increasing exponentially for them to be able to bring a customer experience to life. Secondly, every day there are new attacks and attack vectors, and developers have to think about them and keep their application secure. And third, the amount of customer data and information these organizations have to deal with is increasing exponentially, and developers have to build their applications in a way such that they adhere to the compliance and privacy regulations of every region. So if you think about it, building an application and a customer experience now has become much more complicated than it was ever before.
That certainly does sound complex. Okta's ecosystem, I think, plays a role in helping solve that complexity, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. When you think about this, Okta has integrated with all the partners there are across the customer experience tech stack. However, over the last 6 months, we've actually deepened our integration with 4 key categories. The first one is the tools and technologies that developers use to build and maintain their apps so that we can actually help them get to market faster. The second are tools that help assess risk and detect fraud and prevent against fraud so that developers can keep their applications secure. Third are downstream systems where customer information needs to flow, like CRM and marketing systems. And fourth are tools that developers use to ensure compliance against regional privacy regulations. Now, Okta wants to serve every developer and every customer, so we're adopting a best-of-breed approach so that you can pick the right tools and technologies for your business, for your app, and for your organization. In addition, we're taking this a step further. We're also ensuring that we have multiple integration patterns, whether that's low-code, no-code, or pro-code, so that any team that touches customer identity, whether it's developers, security, marketing, product development, can actually use the tools that are the most effective for them. Thanks
for that detailed explanation. Emeka, I want to come to you as a longtime developer yourself. What Dia just talked about, how is that going to help developers' lives and make it easier for them?
It's actually quite exciting, Ryan. So what this means is that as a developer, you can take things like custom scripting and setting up integrations away from your already considerable to-do list, right? And it also means that as a developer, you no longer need to worry about setting up and maintaining different integrations and deployments because this can now be offloaded onto non-technical teams or less technical teams. And so an example of this is that if the business decides that they want to change the way identity flows into, say, a CRM application, this can be handled by either an identity team or an operations team, depending on what makes the most business sense, which then leaves the developer to focus on what we think is most important, and that is creating a great customer experience.
Wow, that's super clear. Thanks. Time to bring Maureen into the mix. Maureen, you work with a ton of our partners. I want to talk about fraud detection and risk signaling, specifically from the integration standpoint. I'd love to get your take on that.
Well, when you think about it, Ryan, organizations have to gain consumer trust, no matter what application that consumer comes in, no matter what device. So what they need is to be able to assess the risk coming in from that application. And so the first thing that we decided to do was figure out, is that person actually human? Because you want to take that insight and intelligently allow the good consumers who are actually trying to consume content or buy something through and block the bad guys. So the first step is figure out if they're human. So Okta has partnered with the leaders globally in bot detection and web application firewall, companies like Fastly, WhiteOps, F5, Perimeter X. And we're going to expand very, very soon into other kind of risk areas, behavioral data, transactional risk. And our main goal here is we want it to be easy when someone is licensing and using Okta to assess that risk and make that consumer experience seamless.
Those integrations make a ton of sense for security and for risk and for fraud. But what about the customer experience? I know we have some new customer identity workflow integrations in that area as well. Is that right?
Yeah, and actually we started first thinking about social logins. Consumers already have their social logins, so we've expanded access via social logins from our existing ones of Apple, Facebook, and Google to extend and add more companies that these consumers already use, Amazon, GitHub, and others. We're even expanding internationally into international partners like Line and WeChat. But it's more than that. So the Okta Integration Network is this amazing catalog of tools, and we're expanding into new categories like e-commerce, marketing technology, and data providers. And just really trying to make that search experience as they're discovering the tools they need access to way easier. Then finally, we're using workflows because in that real-time consumer experience, they already use big orchestration and e-commerce platforms, and we're going to use workflows to take that data into downstream systems they already use, like SendGrid, Mixpanel, and HubSpot.
Makes a ton of sense. Integrations for security, integrations for a better customer experience, more integrations, more value. Thanks, Maureen. Dia, I want to come to you. Everything that we heard about, I'm sure people want to know when they can get access to it. So I know you have the answer.
The new integrations for customer identity are available in a new catalog on our Okta Integration Network, and they're available right now for you to use and browse at okta.com/integrations. Ingesting risk signals is also available from our partners, and it's in early access and available to our customers that use our adaptive multi-factor authentication. The new workflows for customer identity is available as an add-on SKU, and the integrations that Maureen talked about with Mixpanel, SendGrid, and HubSpot are available as workflow connectors.
Exciting stuff. Thanks, Dia. And also thanks, Emeka. Thanks, Maureen. Really appreciate it. Let's turn it back over to the team at Munchbox to see a lot of what you just heard about in action. Demo team.
Hi, Danielle.
Hi again, Micah. Aren't you happy to hear from me? So I was chatting with our execs over lunch, and now that they see that we can work so quickly, they want more, and we've got more work to do. First, they want the coolest e-commerce storefront out there. I'm sure you remember that our goal is a Munchbox on every single sofa. And they want proof it's the coolest, so we need to connect our analytics system to the registration and login experience to prove people are moving through smoothly. So in other words, another low-key project for you. Are you up for it?
Wow, Danielle, so great to see you. This is a long list of complex requirements, and I can't imagine my team is going to be able to release this in any reasonable amount of time. I guess I got to go learn the HubSpot APIs and how they all work.
But don't you remember the last time? Use Okta, and this should take you much less time than it normally would. Especially with their new Okta Workflows for Customer Identity product, I've heard it'll help you set up these integrations without having to read all of those API docs.
Let's see. To make sure our customers have a smooth experience, we need to get their profile information into our CRM system, HubSpot. And Okta does have a pre-built connector and workflows for HubSpot. Looks like they've already done the hard work on understanding HubSpot's API, so I don't have to write any custom scripts or manage API tokens. I can just use the create contact action as part of a new snacker registration workflow, or the create company action for our corporate clients. Now I don't have to learn the HubSpot API.
That is super exciting, Micah, super exciting. So I was on a casual lunch with our CMO, who is also super excited, and he said that user registration and sign-ins are key KPIs to make sure we're converting customers and driving customer delight. And I honestly think that driving customer delight is just so important these days, don't you? So I want to make sure Okta is integrated with our analytics solution Mixpanel, so we're capturing it all properly.
True to form, looks like Okta has a connector for that too. So again, I don't need to spend time reading Mixpanel's API documentation, and I can just use the create profile action to pass over the registration information that our execs are interested in. I've created a simple automated flow so that when new snackers register for Munchbox, we create their profiles within Mixpanel and HubSpot CRM. This ensures that customer records in those systems are always up to date and are in sync. Again, Okta's taken away a lot of the custom coding work I usually have to do when building integrations, and it looks like I won't have to do any integration maintenance as Okta just handles that for me. Alright, now I'm going to go munch on some snacks.
Oh, wow. Our marketing team just let me know that Munchbox has really become popular with the TikTok crowd over the past few weeks. Cool. We just launched a limited edition Pokemon Munchbox, and it looks like its popularity has attracted a ton of bots. And our analytics solution, Mixpanel, just let me know that our conversion rate is going down. Ugh. Last time this happened, our customers got stuck while bad snackers squeaked through. This is exactly the opposite of what we want, and our exec team is going to kill me. I won't be able to have lunches with them anymore. Micah, can you jump on this and fix it ASAP?
Sure, Danielle. Okta can help with this fraudulent activity. I see in Okta's system log that we're allowing a ton of bad traffic, but there's a few policies I can configure in Okta that will help. We'll use Okta's Threat Insight, Okta's native capability to detect and automated threats, and integrate with our bot mitigation solution Fastly. This will then feed into Okta's risk engine, so we're adding invisible security to block these bots without impacting legitimate snackers. In fact, I was already integrating our bot detection solution Fastly, as you can see here. The remaining steps could be done in this admin console, but I prefer to do this via API. So let me pull up Postman, which simplifies interacting with APIs. You can see the endpoint I'm calling here and the payload that I'm sending to it. Previously, I turned on Threat Insight onto audit mode to just log the suspicious activity that was occurring. Given this bot attack, I now want to change that to block mode to automatically deny suspicious activity identified by Okta. We'll send that, and you can see here we're getting a 200 OK to indicate that the change has been made. Now I need to create a new risk policy that blocks the high-risk attempts, thereby catching bad snackers and minimizing security blind spots. And I send that, and I get the 200 OK as well. Let's head back to the Okta system log, and we can see that it's logged the Threat Insight changes and added this new risk policy. We can also see risk signals from Fastly being regularly ingested into Okta, and we can see high-risk requests are now being blocked. I'm so glad I didn't have to defeat these bad snackers myself and was able to rely on Okta and Fastly's expertise to get the job done for me.
Thanks, Micah. Looks like the authentication errors are starting to go down, which means my exec lunches are going to go up. Let's check out TikTok and see how people are reacting.
Oh, hey everyone, it's Teju, your one and only average snacker, and I'm back today to review Munchbox's app. Now, as you guys know, I've been waiting forever for these Pokemon Munchbox snacks to drop, so today I'm going to review Munchbox's app, and next week I'll review my snacks. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Now, I've already downloaded Munchbox, and the first thing I see here is a snack special for $5 a month. Definitely want to add that to my cart, and I'm liking what I see so far. And yep, here are those Pikachu snacks that I wanted too. Gonna go ahead and add those to my cart, and I should be ready to check out here. But before I can check out, it looks like I need to create an account. Makes sense. Probably just need to enter my name, email address, password, the usual stuff. So let me go ahead and do that now. Name, email, and oh wait, no password. I can just verify my account through my email. Extra points for Munchbox on that one. Okay, so I see the email from Munchbox now, and I'm one step closer to my snacks. Now, before I can officially buy my Pokemon snacks, it looks like Munchbox is asking me for my favorite snack types, but I really just want to get straight to buying my snacks, so I'm going to skip this for now, and I'm ready to check out. Okay guys, so far I gotta say 5 out of 5 for Munchbox, impressed with the sign up process, the UI, and I'm sure those Pokemon snacks will be great. As you guys know the deal, don't forget to subscribe, Average Snacker Teju, and I'll see you next week.
Looks like Teju is a satisfied customer of Munchbox, and so is her TikTok entourage. Thanks to Okta, I was able to ensure a seamless passwordless customer experience, learn more about snack preferences during checkout to provide promos in the future, quickly set up e-commerce and analytics to monitor our conversion rates, reduce malicious logins with Okta Threat Insight and the Risk API with our bot detection vendor Fastly, all while saving hundreds of hours of developer effort.
Don't you just love when the PM lists out all of these results like that as if it was 1, they're doing, and 2, really easy? Normally this would annoy me more. This time I'll admit I'm ever so slightly humbled. Okta legitimately saved me months of time. I got the visibility I wanted. I'm getting promoted for owning this launch, and I was able to complete the project in less than half the time it would normally take. And now, lots of cheesy snacks.